tugboats were listening carefully to the dispatcher during their morning work meeting. An ocean tug rescued a large ship by himself during the night, the dispatcher was saying. And now, the ship must be brought into the harbor for repairs. Emily, Theodore, and Hank, please meet Petra at the harbor entrance right away. Just think, Hank, said Theodore. A single ocean tug rescued this ship all by himself. Petra looked at Theodore. Theodore, I'd like you to go to the back. Remember, this ship can't steer for herself anymore. Be sure to call for Hank if you need help. Theodore's two toots said yes. Theodore was very excited. This looked like a great chance to show Petra he was ready for ocean tugging all on his own. There he was, Theodore Tugboat, all by himself. He found the injured ship in need of help. The sky turned black as night. His propeller churned the water white. He pushed and pushed, but she never sank. When suddenly a voice cried, "Ouch!" "Oh, sorry, Hank." Theodore had been daydreaming and pushing Hank. The tugs buttoned their tow ropes onto the ship and began their journey into the harbor. Theodore was finding that the giant ship was hard to keep straight. He was tugging and tugging with all his might, trying to keep that ship in line. His tow rope creaked and groaned like an old fiddle. "Should I come and help, Theodore?" Hank called. "I can do it by myself," shouted Theodore, trying to sound like an ocean-going tug. Suddenly there was a sickening snap. Petra knew at once by the awful sound that Theodore's tow rope had broken. Theodore watched helplessly as his end of the ship began swinging straight toward Willie's Island. "Emily! Hank!" cried Petra. "Do something!" Emily and Hank turned away from the island with all their might and just managed to pull the big ship from the dangerous rocks. Petra was very upset with Theodore. "You should have called for help," she said. "I'm sorry," replied Theodore sadly. I thought I could do it all by myself, the way an ocean-going tug does." "Tugs must work together as a team," continued Petra. "Even tugs who want to go to sea by themselves one day." Well, Theodore was feeling terrible, that the ship had almost crashed, all because of him. He was on his way to get a new tow rope when he heard a small, mopey voice say, "Oh, I don't suppose you're looking for me." Theodore turned and saw a little rowboat on the shore, caught between some sharp rocks. "I wasn't looking for you," replied Theodore, surprised. "Oh, I suppose nobody is," said the rowboat. Theodore stared at the rowboat. "Who are you?" he asked. "My name is Rowboat," replied the rowboat. "R for row. I wanted them to call me the SS Tiger Shark, but I suppose Rowboat is a name you can remember if you ever wanted to, which no one seems to." "Where do you live?" said Theodore. "Oh, I suppose I live here," said Rowboat, "washed up in the middle of all these sharp rocks." "That's a funny place for a boat to live," said Theodore. But then Rowboat said, "Actually, I'm kind of stuck." "Don't worry," shouted Theodore, suddenly very happy again. "I'll save you just like an ocean tug." But then Theodore remembered he'd lost his tow rope the last time he tried to act like an ocean tug, and that made him feel sad again. "We can use mine," a voice called out. It was Hank. And so it was Hank who rescued the little rowboat from the rocks. I'll take him home by myself, said Theodore sternly. So Theodore borrowed Hank's tow rope and set off with our boat. But then he realized he didn't know where the our boat lived. Where is your home? Asked Theodore. I have no home, said our boat. I used to live by myself at a nice wooden dock, but then one day a big storm smashed the dock and carried me away. The rowboat showed Theodore his bent oar and the old tow rope that was still dangling behind him. So now I just drift around, bumping from this shore to that. Of course, if I were made of metal, I could look forward to rusting. But I suppose, can't have everything. Theodore had an idea. I'll find you a nice new place to live. That's right. We'll find you a new home, shouted Hank as if he had just thought of it that very moment. A new home for me will be found, announced our boat. Then again, probably not, he added. Theodore was determined he'd be the one to find our boat a home. But Hank thought he'd come along anyway. You really shouldn't go to all the trouble, said our boat. For me. But since you're looking, my new dock shouldn't be too sunny, or my wood will crack. Or too rainy, or I'll rot. And it shouldn't be too in-betweeny, or This harbor has lots of good docks, said Theodore. It has a sandy beach, said Hank. Any clams, said our boat. Lots, replied Theodore. Clams, shivered our boat. The worst. They keep you up day and night with their clapping. I don't like noise. There's probably a very nice dock for you here at the grain terminal, said Theodore, leading the little boat along. Weed makes me sneeze, said our boat. I remember where there's a dock, shouted Hank suddenly. But Theodore acted like he didn't hear Hank, and he set off again. I'll find you a new home, said Theodore. No doubt about it. And again, probably not. Theodore, called Hank. I have an idea. I can do it by myself, Hank, said Theodore. It was an enormous sneeze for such a small boat. Would you like to blow your nose? Said Hank to our boat. Blow your nose, said Theodore to himself, thinking. Blue nose. That's it. I know the perfect place for our boat. But Theodore, called Hank, don't you want to hear about my idea? Theodore? The Blue Nose, said Theodore proudly. She's the most famous sailing ship in the whole world. She has a bell, said Hank. Bells, said our boat. Oh, they make a lot of noise. I don't like noise. Blue Nose, I was thinking, said Theodore in his most convincing voice, that you might need a nice lifeboat. Thank you, Theodore, replied Blue Nose. But I already have plenty of lifeboats. I know where there's a great dock, said Hank, right near. I can find our boat a home by myself, Hank, said Theodore. And with that, Theodore set off again with our boat, leaving Hank behind. The sun was beginning to sail out to sea, and Theodore knew the dispatcher would be wondering where he was. It was getting darker. Suddenly, Theodore felt very alone. Who's there? He said softly, and then he tooted a very soft toot, almost to himself. Did you toot for me? Asked Hank. No, replied Theodore. Oh, said Hank. I thought you might have wanted to hear where there's a nice old wooden dock. It's right near the sandy beach. I used to live at a nice wooden dock, said our boat. Well, said Theodore finally, I guess we could go and look at it. Great, let's go, said Hank. Hank led the just the right size for our boat. "Any clams?" said our boat. "Oysters," said Theodore quickly. "Oysters," said our boat to himself. "They'd probably like some company," said Hank. "Oh, oysters are nice and quiet," concluded our boat. And so Theodore and Hank left our boat tied to the little dock and headed for home. Hank was very glad they'd found our boat a home, but Theodore seemed sad. "You saved him from the rocks," said Theodore, "and that dock was your idea. So I wanted to rescue him by myself, just like an ocean tug does." "Oh, is that why you were acting so strangely?" said Hank. "Well, you did all the towing, and you told him about the oysters." "Well," said Theodore after a moment, "I guess we did it together." "That's what a team does, right?" said Hank. "They work together." "Are we a team, Theodore?" "Sure we are," replied Theodore. Hank smiled his happiest smile, and the two friends sailed for home. "Theodore," said Hank, "do you think ocean-going tugs always work alone?"